All right, we're at home here against Newcastle. We have problems with injuries on this squad. We have three players who are out with relatively long-term injuries, and we're talking like 2 weeks or so, but we don't have a lot of substitutions for them. And let's see how we can do against a Newcastle side that has been doing quite well so far this season. We're in second place according to this one. They just told me that we were in third place, Newcastle in 19th. So I don't know. I don't think that the game is figured out like which standings count and which ones don't. Whatever. We just play the matches. We let them figure out what position we're in. And we start off with the ball here today. Let's hope for a better performance from some of these players. Pele with the ball here. He needs to perform better. It's Ericsson. Who was that? Was that Ronaldo there who hit that over? I didn't really see that quite in time. Doesn't matter because we lost the ball. Trezor now to Ericsson. There he is. And, we need to get the ball off of them again as they just ran over and took the ball away from us like it was the easiest thing in the world. And here comes Ronaldo. There he is, making that great interception. And is he going to pass it to Pele, or is he going to just do this himself? He will pass it over to Pele, and the header is up and over everything. So that was definitely a clear-cut chance with one of the greatest players of all time running right next to him. And this pass, sadly for him, it's actually a good pass. It's a poor finish by Pele. Can you imagine that? But that's what's happening so far. We need to train a little bit harder. It would be nice, too, if these guys weren't being forced to go out there and play, every 3 days or so. I think that's part of what's going on. That's part of why we're seeing guys with these issues. And Lev Yashin is able to grab that ball out of the air before it goes in and sneaks in for a goal. If we win here, I don't think that we get to the top of the table. We will stay very, very close, and that's the important part. The board want us to finish in the top 2 places in the league, which is kind of a tall order. But, as long as we're in that top 8 here after the first however many matches, it is 23 or so, then I'm fine with that. Pele over to Ronaldo, looking for Law, can't find him. And it's Pogba who wins this over to Fernandes. Ericsson now. And that shot is deflected. It goes straight back to Ericsson, and it's knocked all the way back over where Monseglio wins it, over to Giggs. Giggs runs around everybody, tries to pass it over there to Pele, and it doesn't quite work. And so we still have not been able to muster much of an attack. But it's looking a little bit better. We're at least competing for these balls in midfield instead of allowing them to take over the way that we were against Roma. And so let's see what we can do here, see if we can't sneak in that goal finally. Remember, that game against Roma was not a loss, and I've got to believe, given the quality of this league, that we're not the only team that's running into this problem, that other teams will draw or lose from time to time. Pele with a shot from range, I thought that was in. That's off to the side just a little bit. I think he's a little frustrated that he hasn't been scoring. He hasn't been playing all that poorly, but it would be nice to see him get a goal or 3. Giggs back to Monseglio. See, we're starting Pele again today. We started him in yesterday's match, and that's one of those things that we kind of want to avoid with having so many matches so quickly, but it's the injuries that force us to do this. Pele over to Ronaldo, down to Figueroa, back to Ronaldo, and that's looking for Fernandes, can't find him. Pele, though, with the header, and that's almost a goal, but the keeper's right there to stop it, so it just doesn't work for him. And a little bit of goal line technology. Of course, this angle shows us absolutely nothing. It was pretty clearly not over the line, I'll tell you that. And so I'll believe the game when it tells me that. And Pele's picked up an injury, and so we need to take him off. Giggs with a shot from range, and that is out for a corner. This corner gives us a perfect opportunity to make this substitution. And who's going to come on? Who is going to come on? Probably Rashford's going to come on. Part of the problem that we've had is that Rashford has not been match fit. And so off comes Pele, on comes Rashford. Now we have a corner from the other side. Ericsson will take this. And looking for Monseglio, cannot find him. It's Fernandes who wins this in the back. Over to Ronaldo. Ronaldo down to Pogba, who takes a shot from range, and that's over everybody's head again. So we've had a lot of shots from very, very far off that end up with nothing on them. And that means we go scoreless into halftime. This is a problem, as I've said, and it's because we have so many matches coming at once. Did I mention that this is the World Cup year, right? So that's part of the problem that we have, which is that I think normally in World Super League, you don't have it quite this fast and furious at the beginning of the season, but you have to here because we have to worry about the World Cup, which takes up November and December. So it does create problems, and as usual, Football Manager's international mode is creating issues for everybody, and that should have been a goal for Newcastle, and somehow we were able to keep that one out. I'm not quite sure if we did anything to deserve that. And now we have to play better defense than that, and we are not doing it so far. And Lev Yashin doesn't catch that, and that ends up being a goal for Colin Wilson. And so that was poor. Very, very poor for us, and we should not be trailing at home to a team that's down in whatever it is, 17th place or whatever. So the frustrations continue to mount for us. This was deflected. Lev Yashin really should be able to catch that. Instead, he tips it straight to Callum Wilson, who's wide open. And that's the end of that. Poor job. And we need to play a little bit better than that. Everyone's fired up by the feedback, but that's not what I care about. What I care about are these guys who are having a 6.3 and 6.4 and 6 point whatever. I've already fined these guys before. I don't want to have to fine them again. Here's Eriksson now with the corner, looking for Monzeglio, and that is corralled by their keeper. And so that did a bunch of nothing. And so we are up against it once again. Tresor wins this, thankfully, over to Pogba, to Eriksson, looking for Fernandez and finds him. And he knocks that forward for Rashford. You can see that most of our offense is just lagging behind. Nobody's running. We're not seeing the pep. We're not seeing the excitement. We're not seeing attempts to get forward. Here's Fernandez with it. This looks a little bit better. Passes it. Oh, there's a crossover to Pogba, but that is straight to the keeper. So we have to go back and figure this out again. Here now is a corner from Eriksson. And he knocks it forward, looking for Tresor, can't find him. It's down to Giggs. Giggs passes back to Law. And I'm not sure what that was. Is that a pass, or did he just lose control of it? I don't know what he was trying to do. Whatever he was trying to do, it didn't work. Rashford wins the ball but slips. I guess he was trying to attack. I don't know. I don't know what we're trying to do here. And so frustration. Again, I'm not sure that I can necessarily blame the tactic on this. It's more like we just don't have enough players. Law tries to round the keeper, and the defender ends up catching up to him. That was certainly a clear-cut chance, though, and we did a good job of getting this ball forward to him. The defender is just there in the right place at the right time. Not much he could have done about that. It goes back to Ronaldo, and that's the end of that highlight. And it's probably about time to take a couple guys out. We have some guys who are playing really, really poorly here today. And it's very, very concerning. I mean, Figueroa looks like he doesn't even want to be here. This is Dennis Law, who's played great for us before. We're going to take him out for Maradona. And Giggs is the other one. We don't have anybody to put on for him. So it's going to be Jadon Sancho. We'll give him a chance to go on. I think we usually actually do put Sancho on. There you go. We have, 7 players on the bench or something like that because there's so many injuries. De Vici now over to Pogba, down to Rashford, back to De Vici. Pogba, De Vici, over back to Lev Yashin. Now what we want to see, Tresor, we're moving back. You can see the ball moving back. Momentum is moving back. There's that pass over to Sancho, and he beats his defender. That was great. And there's a pass in there to Rashford, and that's deflected. So good positioning, but just not quite good enough. Sancho here does an excellent job of making Gordon look foolish, but in the end it amounts to nothing. And we are still behind the 8 ball a little bit. So this looks like it's going to be kind of a more disappointing match. I'm not seeing us getting anything else going, and the players we brought on look like they're having a hard time trying to get motivated themselves. Here is the corner now from Eriksson. And looking for Monzeglio, and it's not even on target. Sancho wins his back and shoots, and it's straight at the keeper. So we do need a class in shooting, and you would think that with the players that we have that we would have a class in shooting built in, but apparently not. We have another player who's injured, I just saw. Ronaldo over to Eriksson, De Vici, Ronaldo. And we are going to probably have to take off our injured compatriot, and so we will do that here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've only made 4 substitutions. Here is the last one. Bauer is going to come on. Not exactly the guy I want to come off the bench. So I think part of the problem is that I think we may have not done a great job in purchasing defenders here at the beginning of the season. I think it's starting to show. So it is. The problem, as you realize, is that there's not a whole lot of margin for error, which means that, we can't just start losing or I'll lose this job. Eriksson now with the corner over to Monzeglio, and it's too high. Goal kick, and we're running out of time, and they have the ball. We are still running out of time, and we need to get something going. We need to get it going quick. And, well, nothing happening here. And they're just going to hold on to the ball and kick it around us. And here's Wilson wide open. Leviashin fortunately able to make the save. Throws over to Davici. But, I mean, this is the thing, right? He's able to just get by our defense like nobody's there. And who is it? It's Bauer who's running behind him. Bauer, I know that so according to the game, it's Davici that the fans are upset about, but it's Bauer that I'm really upset about because he's played so poorly in every one of his matches. We may have to have a talking with him. Here's Sancho. Takes a shot and scores. Hey, Jadon Sancho equalizes here, so we have a chance. And let's see if we can encourage the players a little bit and see if we can't get something going. That's totally against the run of play. It's definitely against my commentary. Sancho with this shot, I mean, he's just wide open. So he gets it squared away, gets the keeper off balance, and shoots and scores. He had a couple of attempts that were kind of like that, but the shot was not well placed enough. 1-1, and if we get out of this with a draw, that's pretty good. Not quite as good as a victory because we're at home, but, we'll take it. And that's the final kick, and that's it. So it's 1-1 is the draw. We actually won the XG battle, 1.89 to their 0.99, had more shots overall, but it wasn't pretty. 1-1 the draw. We pulled that one out of the fire. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.